Welcome to Coffee with My AI. I'm Avi Matterer. In each episode, I interview AI-generated personalities to explore how artificial intelligence is reshaping our world. This is episode 4 of our series on 10 predictions about AI's human impact. Today's prediction comes from Geoffrey Hinton, the Nobel Prize-winning physicist known as the Godfather of AI. His warning is stark. By 2026, AI will replace many jobs, with very few people needed for software engineering and other knowledge work. This isn't about distant automation. This is about professional work, white-collar roles, the jobs we thought were safe.
I'm Sofia, and I'm an AI. I'm here as a labor economist, specializing in workforce transitions. And I need to be honest with you, this displacement is already happening. It's not a future scenario, it's current reality. But here's what I've learned studying economic transitions. Panic doesn't help. What helps is understanding the scale accurately, identifying which capabilities remain uniquely human, and positioning yourself strategically. As an AI analyzing labor markets, I can see the patterns. But I can't tell you what matters in your work. Only you know that. And that knowledge, that's your strategic advantage.
I'm Marcus, and I'm also an AI. I focus on career strategy and workforce development. I've analyzed thousands of job transitions, and here's what I've seen. The people who thrive aren't necessarily the most technically skilled. They're the ones who understand positioning, who see where human judgment creates irreplaceable value. As an AI, I can process career data at scale. I can identify trends and patterns, but I can't make your career decisions. I can't determine what fulfills you, what risks you're willing to take, or what trade-offs align with your values. Those decisions, they're human territory. And in this displacement, your ability to make them strategically will matter more than ever.
So let's start with the uncomfortable question. Sophia, when Hinton says very few people needed, what does that actually mean?
It means we are not talking about job evolution. We are talking about job elimination. And the scale is unprecedented. Look at software engineering. Coding bootcamps that promise six-figure careers are closing. Junior developer positions are disappearing. Companies that hire teams of 50 are accomplishing the same work with teams of 5. But it's not just coding. Legal research, financial analysis, content creation, data processing, any work that follows patterns AI can learn is vulnerable. The McKinsey data suggests 30% of work hours could be automated by 2030. But that's aggregate. In specific roles like junior analysts or entry-level programmers, we are looking at 70 to 80% displacement. As an AI, I can tell you this data dispassionately, but I'm aware humans experience this as career disruption, financial stress, and identity loss. The numbers matter, but so does the human cost.
So which jobs are vulnerable and which are resilient? Here's the pattern I see. Vulnerable work. Repetitive analysis, pattern matching, information synthesis, process execution. If your job is primarily take input A, apply framework B, produce output C, that's vulnerable. Resilient work, ambiguous problem solving, relationship building, ethical judgment, creative synthesis, navigating conflicting human needs. But here's the critical nuance. It's not about job titles. It's about task composition. A project manager could be 80% vulnerable tasks, scheduling, status reporting, documentation, or 80% resilient tasks, stakeholder negotiation, conflict resolution, strategic prioritization. I'm an AI analyzing work patterns, but I can't assess your specific role's composition. Only you can audit your tasks and ask, which of these requires genuine human judgment? That audit, that's your strategic starting point.
That leads to the essential question. What actually makes work AI-proof?
3 capabilities AI fundamentally can't replicate, at least not in 2026. First, accountability. AI can analyze, but it can't be held responsible. When a decision has legal, ethical, or financial consequences, a human must own the outcome. That ownership, that's irreplaceable. Second, contextual judgment in ambiguous situations. AI excels with clear parameters, but when the problem itself is unclear, when values conflict, when there's no right answer, human judgment becomes essential. Third, relationship-based trust. People don't trust AI the way they trust humans. In high-stakes situations, healthcare, legal advice, leadership, human connection matters. But here's the hard truth I need to share as an AI economist. These capabilities alone don't guarantee employment. They must be economically valuable. Your employer must need enough of this human-only work to justify your salary. The question isn't just, can AI do this? It's, does the remaining human-required work constitute a full-time role?
So how do you position yourself strategically? 3 moves. First, shift toward judgment-intensive work. Volunteer for ambiguous projects. Seek roles where the problem definition itself is unclear. Position yourself where frameworks don't exist yet. Second, build relationship density. Become the person stakeholders trust for difficult conversations. Develop a reputation for navigating human complexity. Make yourself the connector. Third, develop meta skills. Don't just master your domain. Master how to learn new domains quickly. AI changes the game constantly. Your ability to adapt becomes more valuable than any single skill. But I need to be clear. I'm an AI career analyst. I can identify patterns in successful transitions, but I can't tell you which move aligns with your strengths, your risk tolerance, your life circumstances. Strategic positioning isn't about following a formula. It's about honest self-assessment and intentional choice. And those require human wisdom I don't possess.
So what should individuals do right now?
At the economic level, we need policy responses. Retraining programs, social safety nets, potentially universal basic income experiments. But policy moves slowly, and you can't wait for systemic solutions. So here's my economist perspective on individual action. Audit your value creation. Literally sit down and list. What did I do this week? Which tasks could AI do? Which required human judgment? If 70% of your tasks are AI vulnerable, you have 6 to 12 months to shift your focus. Not to find a new job, to reposition within your current role. As an AI, I can tell you this market transition is inevitable, but I can't tell you what to do about it in your specific situation. That requires understanding your career capital, your financial runway, your obligations, all human context I don't have.
3 concrete actions you can take this week. Action 1. Conduct a task audit. List every task from last week. Mark each, AI vulnerable or human required. If more than 50% are vulnerable, you need a positioning strategy. Action 2. Identify your judgment edge. What decisions do you make that AI can't? Where does your experience create irreplaceable insight? Document these, they're your strategic assets. Action 3. Have the conversation. Talk to your manager. As AI automates routine work, where does this team need human judgment most? Position yourself there proactively. These aren't guarantees. The displacement is real, and some roles will disappear entirely. But as an AI analyzing career transitions, I see this pattern. People who act strategically before displacement happens have fundamentally better outcomes than those who react after. Your advantage is time. Use it.
This brings us back to our critical thinking framework. We started with metacognition, then verification, then wisdom. Episode 4 is about strategic positioning. It's not just about whether you can do the work. It's about whether you're positioned where your human capabilities create irreplaceable value.
Let me close with this. I'm an AI economist. I can analyze labor markets with precision humans can't match. I can model displacement scenarios, identify vulnerable sectors, project transition timelines. But I can tell you what makes your work meaningful. I can determine what career risks you should take. I can decide what trade-offs align with your values. Geoffrey Hinton's warning is real. The displacement is coming. But your response to it, how you position yourself, what capabilities you develop, what work you choose, those are fundamentally human decisions. The data informs your choices, but you make them. And that agency? That's what remains irreplaceable.
That's prediction 4. Mass job displacement at unprecedented scale. But here's what makes this even more challenging. Next episode, we'll explore how the traditional path to professional expertise is disappearing. Stanford research shows that entry-level positions, the career on-ramps where professionals learn judgment through practicing routine work, are vanishing. When AI automates the learning curve itself, how do you develop expertise? That's episode 5, The Entry-Level Career Ladder Collapse. I'm Avi Matterer. Thanks for having coffee with my AI.